Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. We are the Odds Couple. We come to sportsbookreview.com. Hashtag AskSBR. This is the college basketball show for Tuesday, February 14th. Mike Brenner, let's throw the record up. Yesterday, I had a winner with West Virginia.
Yes,
man, that was almost going to lose. But you know, we were talking
almost going to lose, Pete.
Well, it went to OT.
I know.
Yeah.
But still, I thought you had the advantage when it did go into OT.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about it yesterday because in the morning show we were talking about like the line moves, and that one moved up to 6.
Yes.
And I said, don't worry about it. And then it moved back down. Like I said there's a lot of times U-shaped movement, and but it also shows you how those points do matter, because if they had lost by 5, everyone who took 5.5
made all the difference. But what I did notice in the up and down with the points is you never swayed off your pick, because you said, you know what, heck with it. Heck with it. If it goes south, it goes south. But I'm glad you hung on to that. Man, what a game. Jesus.
Absolutely.
Good call, Pistol, by the way. You're starting to heat up. You are heating up.
And I also did have the balls to tweet out 3 totals. 2 of them cashed. One of them would have cashed up. It was an
they call him the fireman. You're going to be putting out fires, baby.
It was an overtime under that went to over, but that's all right. So I'm going to try to tweet out a few more totals today if I find anything that I like. And let's just go over the card again. First, let's start with the premium games. And Mike Brenner, I don't know if you have any picks for today's card. Do you?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 picks.
All right. So if any of them involve the games that I bring up,
all
right. First one, Florida at Auburn. Florida, friggin' awesome. They did lose their last game, ATS barely, but before that they were covering by a mile, game in and game out.
That Mike White's doing a job there. He's really getting it done. What's the line sitting at right now?
Well, so it's a big underdog line, home underdog line for Auburn. It was open at 10.5. Now it's down to 9 or 9.5. It was 10 before. I was thinking that this might be a spot because Florida did. I'm thinking that the line is close to where it should be, but maybe small advantage to Auburn. I don't know.
At the end of the day, if I had to do anything, I would put it on a teaser. But I don't know. That's just too many on the road for an SEC contest. And I know Florida's been killing it and so forth, but anything can happen in there, and we see that every day. You know, so now I'm off of that one. But if I had to do anything, I'd probably lean the dog.
Yeah, I would as well. It's just Florida's too good.
I know. I'd have a hard time fading them right now.
And also, I took Auburn at one game at home against Tennessee earlier this year, and it was a loser, and I sort of learned my lesson.
And you're pissed at them. Let's get real.
All right, then another game. This one might be on because you tend to have a good read on Notre Dame, and they are a big road favorite at Boston College. But BC has been a little bit scrappy ATS-wise. They are off of 3 straight solid margin ATS losses, but before that, they've been good ATS this year.
They have. They have. I like the first half with Notre Dame here, Pete, and I'll tell you why. I think that was a huge win for them against Florida State because even themselves, they must have been questioned. Maybe we were a little, overrated. All right, but I think that big win and the way that they did it, the fashion that it came against Florida State, I think it just really blew up their momentum again. I think their confidence is peaking again, and I know there is a scrappy team in Boston College, but there's a reason that they just don't win straight up. And I think that Mike Bray's going to have his boys figuring, look, we got to get hot right now. We're getting close to tournament time, so let's take this momentum, let's push forward, and we're not even going to realize that we're in someone else's, home court. So best shot line, Pistol Pete. Pull that trigger on Notre Dame.
Okay, for the first half or the full game?
Yes, first half.
All right, -6, -1.
I like it. Yeah. And if you want to dive in on that breakdown, any thoughts on that, Pistol?
Yeah, BC, it's just a tricky team because they've definitely had their double-digit losses at home, so they can get blown out by a good team. And Notre Dame's 13-6 against the spread. Overall, they've been good, and BC is off of 3 straight ATS losses that were big margins, so they might be kind of like fading towards the end of the year.
You know what? They don't do well on their first half on their home court, so this is why I like it. You top that with the momentum with Notre Dame, that big win over the Seminoles. Bam, baby, you might want to jump in that car, baby.
Yeah, no, you know what? Sounds good.
You're picking up. You don't need no help. You don't need to jump in no one's car right now, except maybe Dennis's to get the hell out of here for a while.
All right, and then the next one, here we go. Kentucky, what do we think about them? Their next assignment is at home against Tennessee, and Kentucky did get a cover in their last game, but overall, clearly an overvalued team.
This team scares me as far as straight-up covers, especially full games. Depends on the situation. I'm going to be using it on a teaser, but I'm laying off that right now as far as any type of side, Pete. You said it. They did squeak out a cover, but
barely.
Barely. Before that, there's just too much talent flying around. There's nobody sharing the ball like they thought they had in the beginning of the year. I remember Calipari said in the beginning, it's one of the most unselfish teams I've had, the most teachable. Well, that must have gone to their heads because they got cocky. They started just tossing the ball up, but I will be using them on a teaser. So with that, let's keep rolling.
And, of course, they did play once already this year in Tennessee, and Tennessee beat them, outright.
Yes,
obviously the venue matters, but still Tennessee's proven that as far as talent is concerned, they can hang with them.
No doubt about it.
That's it for the
bigger slate games,
for
the bigger marquees.
Teams. All right, so let's get to. I'll tell you, there's one pick that I will give Mike Brenner.
Just one?
Well, there's one pick that I'm definitely liking.
Okay. You heard that, Dennis. Okay.
And this is it's going to be Pittsburgh on the first half against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, of course, coming off of the big, somewhat controversial outright win
against
over
Virginia.
in-state rival Virginia. Very impressive.
It was a hell of a game, buddy.
And
I think it might have drained him.
Might have. And Pitt is now off of a 4 straight covers. When I told you they rotate a few guys and one guy was injured, and then when he comes back, it's a little bit different for them. And Pitt has 4 straight covers, and I'm thinking I'm liking the first half. I'm going to be a little of a pussy and take him on the money line at minus 155.
Nothing pussy about that. That might just be a safety guard. But Pete,
Right.
I like your breakdown on Pitt. Let's not forget, guys, Jamie Dixon moved on and is doing a fantastic job, all right? But he left a residual effect, a very positive one, in the recruiting fashion. There was some talent coming in there. So that team, they're able to really spark it up. Pete, I'm not even just saying this for any other reason. I'm jumping in that car with you on the first half. What's the best shot line for both of us?
Well, I'm taking the money line at minus
All right, well, I want I don't want the.
If you want the spread, it's minus 2, minus 110.
I'm taking Pitt on the first half. I think they absolutely get this done. I wouldn't be surprised if they're up by 5 or 6 at the first half. But I really think this talent that Jamie Dixon is 100% responsible for bringing on board, all right, that talent's starting to gel and they're starting to fit into a different system. Look out. I like it. And I think Joe Gavassi would even enjoy that one.
Yeah, and all right, so I'm going to take that one. And again, they have covered 4 in a row.
Sure.
Then the other one that I bet, this is just one that I bet on the overnight.
Right.
St. Louis has been absolutely killing it ATS,
Pelicans,
right?
baby.
Yeah, I think they're 9-1 ATS over their last 10. I took them at 14. It's now down to 13.5. Now the issue here is that Dayton has also been good.
Yes, they have.
ATS wise, I'm saying.
This might be a big balls call right here, buddy.
Yeah, because Dayton is like 14-7 or something like that ATS, but St. Louis, and they're just getting so many points at home.
Yeah, they're flying right now.
I mean, Dayton can blow people out, and St. Louis can get blown out. It's just they've been undervalued, and I'm just thinking that maybe
you're spinning it around in your head right now. I love it. You are breaking it down while you're saying.
All right,
it.
I'll take it. I will go on the record.
Pull that trigger pistol.
I'll go on the record by saying I don't like this one nearly as much as the
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
like this one
first
near
half.
as the Pittsburgh first half. Okay.
And I wish I was getting the 14 that I got on the overnight when I bet it. But
that was sweet. Yeah,
13.5 minus 106.
I think you still might be looking good there, Pete. I don't think.
God, that is cutting it close. Though. Dayton's really good. Dayton's really good though. But all right, I'll throw it on there. And
there's another one I looked at. I was just wondering if you had a say so because you've had a good read on this team. The Akron Zips, I believe, are playing Toledo, if I'm correct. Maybe not Toledo. I don't know.
Yeah, Akron's at home against Toledo. Minus 6.5.
Tough call there, and I wanted to see your thoughts on that.
I actually have, and it was 7.5 when it first opened. I actually have no notes on that one because I have to. Well, I looked at it, and I have no opinion on it yet. Akron has had some. There were some spots where I thought they would be a good bet recently where they weren't. Where they lost ATS. So I have to do a little bit more research into the condition of Akron right now.
What did Villanova do yesterday? I didn't even see the result.
That was one of my winners. I had DePaul. They were way up in the first half, but then.
So I covered my half then. Good. Okay. I didn't put it on the video, but I did it on a tweet.
Yes, the first half they blew them out. I didn't have the balls to give DePaul on a tweet on the second half.
17,
but
right?
no, I didn't have the balls to give them on the second half. They were plus 5.5, but I bet that one pretty big and that one covered.
Fantastic.
And they covered the full game, which is
they really did.
Yeah,
wow.
Which was my pick. They lost by about 13 or so.
Jesus, good call, Pistol.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at the Dayton St. Louis game. I'm like, they might lose by. I wish I was getting 18.5 here.
Well, of course, who wouldn't? I mean, come on.
Yeah. All right, but I'll take it.
Take it. Come on. Yeah. If horses were wishes, then beggars would ride.
All right. Well, that's it for me. I did break down I didn't break down any totals. I'll tweet out some totals. Say if I have some. I broke down the entire.
I have to throw this out there and a shout out to our guys, but they're telling me how responsive you've been on Twitter and how much they appreciate it.
Oh well, thank you.
I'm not kidding, Pete. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying it. All right. But the bottom line is they're listening, they're paying attention, and you're cashing tickets. So this is working, guys. All right. Sometimes we got to pull him up. The team has to lift Pistol Pete up when he starts slacking off.
Shout out to Juan White. Shout out to Miami Connection. Shout out to Brittany and Morgan. Shout out to everyone. All right.
That's right. Shouting out.
All right, Mike Brenner. What do you have? That's it for me.
I'm going with a 3-team 6-point teaser. We'll do a bet online. I only have the Notre Dame first half as my only single pick, but I'm doing the teaser, so give it to me. Kentucky.
Okay, that would be, let's see, -8 now.
I love it. Yep. Florida. Ooh,
okay, Florida. That would be -3.5.
That's beautiful. And put some Notre Dame on top of that, Pistol Pete. That sounds like a casher.
Yeah, where the hell is that one? That would be -4.5.
Where the hell is that one?
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm liking it. And also, I went with Pitt on the first half -2. Jumped in the car with Pete, except Pete went money line, but it doesn't matter. Those money line and spreads, those cars drive to the same damn bank, baby.
I'll tell you what, Mike Brenner, this is a card that where I don't see a lot of obvious value, so that means probably a lot of second halves, but there's definitely a lot of interesting situations. Let's just extend this video out a little bit more.
Please do. I have no problem with that. I love spending this
Oklahoma at home against Texas.
Bam.
That's an interesting game. You know, Texas has been good ATS overall.
Of course,
you
they're
know?
starting to pick it up a little bit. Look who's in there.
But look at the respect they're getting. Oklahoma just -2.5, and Oklahoma off of 5 straight ATS losses.
I know.
So
and people see, a lot of people forgot that Oklahoma started with damn near a fresh roster besides one person. I mean, Buddy Hield, all of those guys left. That takes some time. But Shaka Smart's getting it done over there at Texas right now. Pete, I'm telling you right now, I think Oklahoma goes down again. I might be late, and there's a reason I'm saying this because it's one of my tweets for later.
Yeah.
But I'll break into it later if it's going to be a first half or a full game. But
all right.
Yeah, Oklahoma's been a mess, buddy.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then another one I was thinking about, which I would have given if I could have gotten 7.5, but now it's down to, it was my notes.
That's your notes?
Yeah.
It looks like code. Dennis, this stuff looks like code from a back end of a website he's building. Holy shit. I'm not kidding.
Tulsa's lost their last 3 in a row, but UCF's been very inconsistent. I was thinking Tulsa
they
getting
just
points
dropped them
might
the
be.
other night. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. We got our
wrap it
picks.
up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll have more tweets later on,
Yeah.
and hopefully
Second
more
half,
picks. It
you
definitely
on fire, Pistol
feels like a
Pete.
night where there will be some second halves with value. Hopefully there will be. And yeah.
And it's Valentine's Day,
Okay,
so
yeah.
all of you guys out there, take care of your wives tonight. Some of this money you win from your bookie tonight, buy your wife a nice dinner. Man, buy her some flowers. Tell her you love her, for crying out loud.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.
All right, you going to be my Valentine, Pete?
Sure.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.